Hello and welcome back. Um, in the previous video, we talked about the introduction and everything you need to know to start this course, the prerequisite about going into this course. Now, in this particular topic, we're also talking about how to set up everything and get started with Firebase. As I said earlier in the previous video, you need to have created a Gmail account, which is simple. Just go to register for a Gmail account, and once you've logged in on your desktop, you just type firebase.google.com and it will bring you up to this page. You can either go to the console, which is the one here, or you click get started. So I'm just going to click get started and see what we have in store for us. It's going to open our console for us. As you can see, I have 4 different projects. Do not mind them, and I'm going to be creating a new one for this particular application. So what you have to do is create a new project, and what we want to do in this particular project is to create a simple blog for this particular project. Just click blog like this and click continue. This creates a project for you, and different applications can run on this project. So we're going to remove enable Google Analytics for this project. As I said, this is a fun course, and we're going to do a lot of fun in this course. I'm going to create the project. You wait for it. It takes at least 5 to 10 seconds, depending on your network speed. Some of you are using 5G, some are using whatever. So it takes a time for you to just come up, and once this is done, so it's finishing up, we then get to enter into our console. Then you click continue, and it takes you to that console. So if you can look at this is the name of my project, and as you can see, it says get started by adding Firebase to your app. Now let me explain what this project is. You could have different applications on a single project. You could have iOS, you could have Android. This stands for the web. This is Unity, and this is Flutter, which is also application development. So different applications can speak to your backend. Netflix uses Python and Java. Python for the backend. Then they use Java or whatever framework they use for the front end to create the UI. But there is a programming language always responsible for the backend, and the programming language responsible for our backend is JavaScript. And where our backend, our data are stored, is called Firebase. So understand that Firebase is like a database. It's like an application database, a project. And we're going to be creating different applications on this project. Now we want to pick web. We need to get started by web. So what do you want to call this thing? We want to call it the blog website. It doesn't have to be the same name with your project. As I said, your project name is just a folder. It tells you every application you are going to build on this, on this project. So we're going to call this one blog website, and I'll be having another course on application website, and those people who love to create applications with Firebase. So you can click. There's no need to put also to set up this register application. So once you wait for that to set up, I'm going to come down here and I'm going to open Notepad like this. Then we see something here, and this is where we're going to start up. We're going to pick up everything that is here. You know what? Since we are using what are they calling it? JavaScript and HTML, we will not want to use npm. Npm are for those people using Node Package Manager. That is those people using frameworks like Vue, React, and so on. But since we are using ordinary JavaScript file, for those people who are just coming up, we are going to use what they call this. So what I will do is just pack all of these, as you can see, or I can just come here and copy all of it, and I'm coming to my notepad and I'm going to save it. Then I can say file, save as. Now just save it as config files. So I'll save that, and I'll just leave it leave it open somewhere. Then under it you can see go to console. So now we have gone to console. And right now we have different products we can use for our application. We have authentication, we have Cloud Firestore, and I'll be explaining each of them. Authentication is a way you manage users in your website, those people who log in, register, and verify and do a lot of stuff, admin and so much more. We have Firestore database. We're going to be using Cloud Firestore, but not real-time database. We'll be using the Cloud Firestore in this project. And one thing that makes Cloud Firestore very interesting is because it has the power to listen to changes very fast, and it is a NoSQL. It is a NoSQL database. We're going to be using Firestore database, and we're going to be using storage. So in this course, we're going to be talking about authentication, Firestore database, and storage. And I'll be teaching you how to read documentation so that you can improve your knowledge and your skills to broaden your development and developing skills in your various fields. So in the next video, we'll be looking at how to set up our JavaScript files.